That morning, prior to the heart attack, I had worked out. It was a HIIT class that I was taking, and it was pretty intense. I was pushing myself, and one of the things that I started noticing, between sets, we had to run a lap. And I've run before, it's not a big deal. I started having chest pain in the middle, like just in the middle of my chest, but when I stopped running, it stopped. At the end, we were doing some intense exercises, but I made it through the hour exercise, or the hour class. I went home. This is kind of silly, but I was eating very spicy potato chips. And I started getting this intense burning feeling in the center of my chest. And I thought it was the potato chips. So I was like, oh, I better put these away. But it didn't stop. It just kept getting worse and worse. It spread throughout my chest, down my arms, both arms. And at that point, I knew something was really wrong. I ended up then driving myself to Arrow Springs. I think they all knew as soon as I went in, I was having a heart attack. They acted immediately. It really wasn't much time at all, and I was back there, and they had me hooked up to things, so they acted quickly, and they were very good about asking me questions, and the doctor came in really quickly. I didn't wait for him, so I feel like everything was pretty immediate. They took the fear out of everything, and then they transported me to Bethesda North for the cardiac lab. Immediately met Dr. Zhang, and he inserted 2 stents. I really wasn't afraid the whole time I was there. And he was great. Right after the procedure, Dr. Zhang spent time with me, and he talked to me about what happened, what the causes were, and just gave me a sense of peace. Rebecca Hinkle was the next person I met. She too was very professional and thorough, and made sure I understood everything. So I'm just thankful for the caring and professional doctors and nurses that were available. Ever since then, I've been very cognizant of myself too. So any little thing, I think, what is that? Why am I feeling that way? I had to do the therapy. That just validated the need to do the cardio, because that's not always a focus, I think, sometimes. I think a lot of times people want to just focus on strength. Strength is good and you should do it, but I also feel like I have to make sure I make time for cardio. That is something since the heart attack that I've tried to be more diligent about. A month after the heart attack, I was able to go back and start working, slowly, but still working with a trainer. When I'm working out, I'm constantly aware of my heart rate. I know that I can't let it go over 141, so I'm aware of that. Before, I wouldn't have been looking at that. I would say that it's really important to call 911. I don't think I'll drive myself again, but get help immediately and don't blow it off. My pain was very intense and like no other I'd ever felt. So I was very sure that there was something wrong. I've talked to many other women who've had heart attacks within my therapy group, and their symptoms were not always the same as mine. I think it's important to advocate for yourself and make sure that you talk to a doctor, and if you really feel like there's something wrong, then go to the hospital. I would like to say to Dr. Zhang and his staff and Rebecca Hinkle, thank you so very much. You were awesome.